No. Okay, excuse me.
Which is your route?
16.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. When you arrive in Vladivostok, you'll immediately notice the many Chinese tourists. This is the entrance.
Careful, careful.
Is it Russian steak? I like how he connects with the Chinese. He's already making Stalin's presence known. Greetings from Pyongyang Airport in North Korea, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, the only international airport that Pyongyang, North Korea has. And today I'm flying to Vladivostok, heading back after spending a few days in Korea. It's been 5 days in which we've visited quite a few cities. I guess you're already aware, and you've probably seen it on the channel. I wanted to record my return back home to Russia. The airport is completely new and super clean. It has several souvenir shops, which have the same souvenirs you can find on your trip to Korea, the ones they sell to tourists. It also has a couple of cafes, and it even has a business lounge. No! No. Okay. Sorry. The difference from what I thought before coming here, there are many Koreans who fly out of their country, mostly to Russia or China, in this case to Russia.
Many Koreans are sitting here heading to Russia for reasons I don't know.
I guess it's for work or some business or economic exchange. And right now, there are 3 planes scheduled for today, all leaving about 20 minutes apart. It's about 8:30 in the morning now. Every 20 minutes, an Air Koryo plane takes off, the only airline here. Before leaving the country, there was uncertainty about whether they would check our phones, cameras, and computers. Looking for suspicious or forbidden images was on the minds of most of the tourists in the group. However, everything was very calm.
We woke up at 7 in the morning to patriotic music playing in Pyongyang streets.
We had our breakfast as usual and left on the buses heading to the airport. The night before, some of the more than 100 tourists in the group were chatting and having drinks in the revolving restaurant until they politely asked us to leave around 1 or 2 a.m. And we continued in the hallway on our floor next to the room. At the restaurant, beers cost $1.50 and you could smoke and drink hard liquor if you wanted. On the way to the airport, we passed by the Pyongyang train station, the typical entry point for tourists from the Chinese border city of Dandong. The building's classic socialist style, typical of the Stalin era, was meant to impress and show state strength. High ceilings, granite, and classical elements like columns and reliefs create a robust, stylish feel. In the center stands the clock tower with leaders' portraits. And on both sides, posters with messages of support like Kim Jong-un is the son of Juche and praises to the Kim family. On each side of the clock tower are sculptures of a peasant woman and a worker, symbolizing agriculture and industry. North Korea's railway system can be considered an essential pillar in its transportation network. Built by the Japanese at the beginning of the last century, after the Korean War, it was rebuilt and expanded with the help of the Soviet Union and China. The track gauge was changed to the Soviet standard, totaling about 5,000 kilometers of tracks. Although they used Chinese and Soviet trains and locomotives for decades, recently they've upgraded with locally made equipment. The leaders, during their visits to other countries, usually Russia or China, are usually transported in an armored train, which sometimes reaches and exceeds 20 cars. This armored train is a fortress on rails, and it has everything necessary for traveling and working. For security reasons, it doesn't exceed 60 kilometers per hour. It has cannons, soldiers guarding it, spacious meeting rooms, and fully equipped cabins. Although there aren't many images, some authors say this train travel habit started with Kim Il-sung, the current leader's grandfather, who frequently traveled by train domestically and internationally, a tradition that was later continued by his son and his grandson. On the streets, we again saw groups of mothers and women encouraging passers-by with songs and choreographed dances. And the signs that welcomed us on the first day were now saying goodbye to us. It was time to say goodbye to this enigmatic, hermetic country, truly unique and unforgettable. At the airport, they returned our passports to us one by one, which had been kept by our guides for the 5 days of the tour. We set our luggage aside and proceeded to the counters. Contrary to what many other travelers say, we were not searched on the way out, and they didn't check what we had recorded either. It was all pretty quick and without any mishaps. Once we got through security, we were ready to board and head back home. As before, we flew on the classic Soviet Tupolev Tu-154 aircraft again this time. According to Ilyushin 62, registration P885, it was manufactured in 1979 and transferred to Air Koryo in 1987. which means it has been in service for 46 years and with the Korean company for 38. Both the design and the components looked old, but at the same time, very well maintained. There are 4 of these models in the Air Koryo fleet, with 1 reserved for presidential use.
Which is your route?
16.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. They are already starting to warm up the engines. They've given us the Pyongyang times, as always, to enjoy it. I was amazed when I walked in and saw steam coming from the top of the cabin. I hadn't seen that in a long time. Only when I was a kid, and only a few times. It's starting up. Judge, my ears are blocked. I can't tell if it's from the startup or the buzzing. We're taking off. Let's go.
Come on, little guy.
I've been reading the newspaper for a bit before leaving. The kind of news you can find caught my attention, from historical events to ads for Korean Lego. And then a story that talked about how a colonel, after being demobilized, he went to the village to become a shepherd and tend goats, but eventually reforested the area with large hazelnut trees, as they're called. A whole forest, I mean, an entire hill. They say it took several years, 10 or 12 years, to be planted. And the village was amazed by the decision of this colonel to retire and to live a stoic life connected with nature. They brought him the usual hamburger, just like on the way there. Cheers. And this is the bathroom, a genuine Soviet bathroom. Oh, look how old it is. Man, with this crank, look, the comforts of aviation from 50 years ago. A button to call the stewardess, a little screen in case you need to return to your seat, and here to plug in the shaving machine. The seats recline too, the part where you put your butt.
Goodbye.
Greetings from Vladivostok. I'm in what used to be a closed city during Soviet times because of its military strategic importance, and because the headquarters of the Soviet fleet was located here. Behind me, I have none other than a submarine, the S-56, which was crucial in World War I and the Great Patriotic War. I have a few hours before taking the Trans-Siberian and want to show you more. What is this city like? Let's go! The first thing you'll notice when you arrive in Vladivostok is the number of Chinese tourists there are. In this case, at a tourist attraction like the submarine, even more so. Here's one group. Everyone you see here, plus 10 or 20 buses starting on that sidewalk, all full of Chinese tourists. Guess who's here with me in Vladivostok? Victoria, a Russian girl we just met. Hello, very good. And with Miguel from Paradises in Asia.
Hello.
We're already inside. This is the entrance. Whoa, careful. You have to be careful. Don't hit your head. Miguel?
Damn.
Hey, a suspense, huh? In the Russian Navy, man?
Yeah.
Take a look. We just arrived, and the first thing here is a museum crowded with Chinese people as usual. And the valves are already starting here, just like in Kaliningrad. Watch your head. Look, we're already in the cabin room. The captain would probably be here. This submarine is the S-56, and it was launched from the Vladivostok shipyards in 1939. It played a very important role in World War I. And although it was built here in the Vladivostok shipyards, they sent it when Operation Barbarossa began to the Kola Peninsula, towards the North Atlantic. And that's where it ended up, with 14 enemy ships. I love how he handles the Chinese. He's already showing them that Stalin is here. This would be the area for the officers to meet. There was the captain's cabin, Stalin's portrait, very important. Look at those little pieces of furniture from that time. It carried out patrols for about 20 years, although the most active phase was, of course, during World War I Timwai. Whoa! Let's see about crossing through the hatches. Also, another important fact. A curious fact is that it was the first Soviet submarine to go around the globe. And to head to the Kola Peninsula, it didn't go through the Arctic, but instead went through the Panama Canal. It's something that wasn't repeated until several decades later, due to the Cold War. Look here at the pieces of torpedoes they have set up and their internal mechanisms. Oh my! Whew, take a look. I guess the explosive charge would go here, right? Well, I don't really know much. Don't pay too much attention to me. And all of this is the system, the engine that propels the torpedo underwater. Hello?
What do you think? What do you think about the submarine, Victor?
Very cool, honestly.
Victor has effectively used the submarine story.
You know exactly everything. All the hardships the submarine went through during World War I.
Just a bit. A few notes the lady at the ticket office whispered to me. Better ask the Chinese for some impressions on my behalf.
What do they think of the submarine?
Very nice, very good.
Good, thank you, thank you.
Hello, hello!
Thank you!
Hello, hello!
Miguel was kidnapped by the Chinese. They're asking him for photos. The famous one in China, Miguel. Well, and before they kidnapped Miguel... Bye-bye. A panoramic or overall view of what the cabins were like. I'm not sure how many crew members were here. The lady at the entrance said around 40. And these are the bunks where they would sleep, and the torpedoes they would launch through these tubes, torpedo launchers with the classic red star, here. What do you think?
Very interesting, and not much space.
Was this the first time?
No, this isn't my first time. I visited one in school.
Well, nothing then. As you can see, this is where the visit to this submarine ends. A brief visit. Let's continue now through Vladivostok. I took a look at what you can find in front of the submarine. Here we already have the shipyards and part of the Pacific Fleet, whose headquarters are here in Vladivostok. Look at those huge ships and their massive antennas. Wow. If you see this bridge, I'm not sure if the camera shows it well, it's called the Golden Bridge or the Golden Gate Bridge. It is strictly forbidden to cross on foot or to stop your car. And this is due to the strategic sensitivity to the presence of military objects located here. Although it was the construction of the Trans-Siberian Railway at the end of the 19th and the beginning of the 20th century that economically boosted the city of Vladivostok, without a doubt there was a radical change when the Red Revolution and the Russian Civil War broke out and later Soviet power was established. The Soviets quickly understood the importance of having a port here and made it the most important port in the entire Pacific. Right now, I'm in one of the most significant squares in Vladivostok at Revolution Square. And here you have a monument that commemorates those days from 1917 to 1922. Dedicated to all the fighters of the Soviets in the Far East. Check out this fruit shop we found in this basement. I've never seen anything like it before. Normally it's full of shops, glasses, bags, grandma clothes, but not fruit shops. We took a 5-kilometer walk to the lighthouse here at the tip of the peninsula where Vladivostok, the city, stretches out. And I want you to take a look at it. From here you can see the cable-stayed bridge very well, with the distance between the columns, between the towers, the longest in the world. Built for the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit, it was completed in 2012. And then it earned the title of the longest in the world. Both the Golden Horn Bridge, which is the one that connects, let's say, with the city center, and this one, the Russky Island Bridge, were built for that summit. It's really impressive. One of the largest engineering works in all of Russia. And it lets Vladivostok expand to this island, which lies south of the city. That is Vladivostok's center, and crossing that bridge leads to Russky Island, a large island. You only see the beginning here, but it goes further. If you come here, you'll see that it's also full of Chinese people, and a lot of people doing wake surfing and sailing. There's a lot of water sports here, and of course cargo ships everywhere. Well, that's something you can't miss in Vladivostok. When the city was founded, a detail I haven't mentioned, it was a free port to attract investments here and generate growth. Look, there's something I wanted to mention here about Vladivostok and the Russian Far East. It's that it's full of Japanese cars with the steering wheel on the right, like in this taxi we're in right now. Do you get what this says?
It's the batteries. It's a hybrid. With the translator, you can understand. You put it in Spanish and you know where the heating is, the air conditioning.
How long have you been working with Japanese cars?
It's my second year.
If you walk through downtown Vladivostok, you'll see many houses from the early 20th century. They contrast a lot with the houses on the outskirts of the city, which are more Soviet style. Or even these typical glass-covered residential skyscrapers. Modern, you know, from the 21st century. Now we've come to eat, as always, because it couldn't be missing from a video, local food in one of these historic buildings. It's called Nyeridai, meaning don't cry. It's in a former hotel that's 101 years old. Even though it's been renovated, this restaurant right here,
it has gone from being a family restaurant cafeteria to an estalobala, a kind of canteen.
Oh, but I want to show it to you. I was here yesterday and it totally blew my mind. So let's go inside. Look at the line there is. Now I'm going to show it to you in more detail, but you can already see that this place has class. The interior is spectacular. It feels like you're in the cafe of the Bolshoi Theater. Look! And it even has a grand piano here, where people gather in the afternoons to play. There was even a violinist when Miguel and I came yesterday, and we were amazed. There was a violinist playing the violin here in a cantina. I've never seen that before. Here you have the list of concerts. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Royal and Old. Royal Old, that is the piano and the violin. Excuse me, it must be nice to work in a place with so much history, right?
Yes.
I've never seen a bar like this before, have you?
Me neither.
Give me a kvass, please. We have kvass now, we can function. Miguel, tell us, who has visited this place that caught your attention?
Well, we have a distinguished Vietnamese here. We have Uncle Ho Minh.
Amazing. Ho Chi Minh was here, and also Amundsen, the Arctic explorer. Distinguished figures. Is it Russian steak?
Potato.
Potato with chicken.
With chicken? How do you manage with Russian? Hey! Yeah, good. He manages. He's a polyglot, Miguel. You have a lot of choices here with vegetables and so on. And the prices are really low. I mean, 100-gram portion is €2. Thank you. Only the sausages are more expensive, costing nearly 300 rubles. Russian steaks with cheese and tomato here are 140.
Hello?
Don't you have serniki today?
They're sold out. There were some in the morning. 595 rubles.
Thank you. What did you order?
A chicken soup and Russian chicken steak with mashed potatoes.
How much was it altogether?
300 rubles.
I couldn't leave here without trying the crab. The Kamchatka crab is very famous. I don't know if this is it, but altogether it cost me 5 euros. A crab salad, a chicken broth. Pretty average. And here a Russian steak with egg and grechka, buckwheat. So that's it, I'm going to dig in now. Cheers, Victoria says to me. It's not only from Kamchatka, but it could also be crab from Sakhalin. And there, maybe a 7-kilo crab costs you 15 euros. I'm not joking.
This isn't crab.
This paste. Look, this door dates back to 1909. Pure history on this stable's doors. Nice pink color.
Like little princesses. What's the Russian word for princess?
Princess.
Princess, our Tsarina today. Do you think the Ferris wheel is from Soviet times?
Yes, it's very obvious.
Well, here you have it. To finish the video, a view from the top of the carousel. Well, that's what they say. What is this called in Spanish?
The Ferris wheel.
I had forgotten the Ferris wheel. The Soviet Ferris wheel of Vladivostok.
Thank you, Miguel. Russians say Russia is European with an Asian soul. I'm curious to see melon and watermelon prices in the Urals. Excuse me, how much is a kilo of melon?